We all know where most of our money is going. So if you sit down, look at your bank statement, it will tell you exactly a story about where most of your money goes. Wealth takes a certain level of strategy and patience to be able to accomplish. It takes time. Everybody that has built anything that's significant, they've had to have a blueprint. Not every asset has to be bought. Some assets have to be created. Okay, guys, welcome to the Witness Mtaka show. My name is Witness Mtaka, and I'm looking forward to having a conversation with you, especially if you're a young man looking for meaning, looking for ways to make money, and looking for a way to find your purpose and take your life to the next level. Now, you have to understand that most people never get rich because they don't want to understand the game that they're playing. And what do I mean by the game that they're playing? You and I, as men, have a responsibility to take care of our families, take care of society, and build influence. And part of building influence also means that we need to understand the game of money and how it needs to be made. Now, in this conversation, we are going to be talking about why you are not rich and how you can fix it. That is a problem specifically because if you've got children or a wife or a family that looks to you as a man, for you to be able to express yourself fully to them, it is attached to your ability to provide for them. Now, I know a lot of people can argue and say, but what does love have to do with money? If you've got a child and you want to express love to them, sometimes your love will be expressed through the gifts that you get them. It might not necessarily be expensive gift, but your time as well. If you're gonna have time to spend with your kids, with your wife, with your family, it all boils down to the ability to afford to be able to do that. And for you to afford to be able to do that, you have to make money. You understand? And you have to understand the fact that with everybody that has built anything that's significant, they've had to have a blueprint. You know, if somebody was to be found building, and while they are building, somebody comes to them and says, "What are you building?" And they say, "I don't know. I'm just laying up some bricks." And the next person comes to them and asks them, "What are you building?" And they say, "I don't know." Ultimately, we're going to think that person is crazy because there's no way somebody can dig up a foundation, put in the concrete, secure the foundation and start building without knowing exactly what they are building. If anyone is going to be building anything, they have to be understanding exactly what they're building. Now, it's the same with wealth building or wealth creation. There must be a blueprint and a plan that tells you exactly what you're going to be building and how it's going to be of benefit to you, your children, and society as a whole. So part of the reason you're not wealthy is because you don't have a blueprint and a plan to be able to achieve that. In the job that you have and in everything that you are doing in your job, there is always going to be some sort of a blueprint and a plan for certain projects that are in the job for you to successfully execute on it. There must be a plan, a clear day-to-day plan that shows how certain things are going to be achieved. Now, going back to you and your journey with wealth creation or wealth building, there has to ultimately be a plan. What sort of vehicle you're going to take from one place to another. Number two, you think like a consumer, like not like an investor. You see, a lot of people don't realize this. You find people, you've gotten your first job, second job, project, whatever it is that's generating you some money. And we spend so much of that on liabilities that make us look like we are wealthy so that we can impress people that don't even like us or know us. So if you are starting out and, for instance, you've purchased a car, You're basically taking money that you should be allocating to assets that are going to be generating you income, and you're putting it into an expensive car. Now, I'm not necessarily saying you shouldn't have a car when you're starting out, but I am saying that there must be a certain level of modesty when it comes to that, so that you can be able to take up everything that you make and allocate it into assets. Now, it sounds cliched that the rich buy assets. Not every asset has to be bought. Some assets have to be created. Your capacity to do certain jobs in a certain way ultimately accelerates your skills and ultimately gives it to you as an asset. Because once you've got that skill, then you'll always be paid for it. For instance, if you develop your communication skills, so a lot of people might say, I don't know how to speak in public. Listen, if you read from a good book for 20 minutes every single day, your vocabulary is going to be better, or it's going to increase. So as your vocabulary increases, it means then you would be able to speak in certain places, even if it means speaking in public. Because part of the reason a lot of people cannot speak in public is because they have not developed their speaking skills. And if they have not developed their speaking skills, it means they don't have enough confidence for them to be able to communicate and communicate effectively in public. Number three, you rely on one income. So if you only have a salary, you're at the mercy of somebody else's decisions. So you have to understand that in a job, once you've got a salary, your salary has to be used to diversify into other things that are going to be generating income for you. If it means you must document your skills and write a book in terms of execution when it comes to your workplace, do it so that you can generate some money. If it means you can take your skills that you provide to your employer, go back to him, negotiate a raise, or use the same skills um, to get a client that's going to pay you probably another rate that the employer is paying at. As long as you can manage both, then you will be able to make some money. Another thing, for you to be able to generate streams of income is looking at your income and saying, what sort of assets can I buy with this income? And what sort of leverage can I apply? If it means I need to borrow from the bank to buy certain assets, let me do it. We spoke about buying a car earlier on. Some people buy a car, put it on Uber. Others finance furniture and they put up Airbnb, and they do Airbnb on a rent to rent basis. So they don't necessarily have to own the property where they're operating the Airbnb, but because they're earning some sort of an income, they can go to let's say a furniture store, borrow furniture or take furniture on credit, put it up on Airbnb and start generating some money. So a lot of people are always saying, I don't have the money to be able to start a business. There are different ways in which you can start a business. So that being one of them. Two, four, you don't have or understand any form of leverage. Wealthy people use money, people, and systems to multiply their income. Money, people, systems. So you've got some money, you put it up in an investment so that the money can generate money for you. You've got some money, you've built a business, you employ people that are looking to do the thing that you're doing or believe in the vision, pay them so that they can be your partners in executing the vision. If you don't do that, you won't be able to do everything. So, for instance, we've got this camera set here. There are different people in this room with me now that are skilled in doing exactly this kind of work. I'm skilled in communication, I'm skilled in getting the message across, but somebody else is skilled in making sure the lighting is proper, the decor is proper, the camera is set up properly, the sound is going to come out properly. All of those things ensure that there is a certain level of leverage that takes place, putting system in place for everything that you are working on. How much of the things that you are working on can operate without you? That's one of the most important things. Another thing is that you're focusing too much on short-term gain. You're playing the short-term game. You want to get rich quick. getting rich quick is the quickest way to become poor, because a lot of people work for years and years and years. And as soon as they have their hard earned money, they take it and put it in a scheme that promises them the quickest return. And that's where the problem is. Wealth takes a certain level of strategy and patience to be able to accomplish. It takes time. You know, one person asked me, said, why aren't you looking at ways in which you can quickly generate the money? And I said, because we're looking at a long term way in which we can make money out of what we've built. So I'll give you an example. We've got a company that I'm brand ambassador for. It's AdProp. So you can check it out on adprop.co.za. If you've got a room, if you've got apartments, if you've got a house, if you've got a property, be it a commercial property or residential property that you want to either rent out or sell, you can put it up on adprop.co.za. And on AdProp, that's where you will be able to find a tenant or a buyer. But hang on, at the same time, if you already have a property portfolio, your property portfolio that's on AdProp is growing, you will be also able to manage that property using the system, invoicing tenants, making sure that you document their payments so that the system can generate financial reports for you so that you can use that with financial institutions. And lastly, on the same system, if you are a service provider providing different kinds of services to property owners, be it maintenance, cleaning, construction, painting, anything that's property related, you will be able to put it up on the system, put up your work on the system, put up your profile on the system, so that any property owner that's looking for somebody in their area to fix anything is able to find you through the system. So that's something that we built. We spend time building it. We work on it first to be able to make money from it. So I've got a background in property, and in every property that we've developed, we know that it's either going to take 3 months, it's going to take 6 months, it's going to take 12 months, it's going to take 18 months. So there are timelines, and in those timelines, it's a period of building, it's a period of renovations, and it's a period of investing time, resources, people, money. And as soon as that's done, then at the end, we are able to now start generating rental income or sell the property so that we can generate income. So, what are we doing there? We're playing the game in a long term. We know that if we spend time doing this, we'll be able to generate some money. Now, what are the things that you need to do in order to fix it if you are experiencing some of these things that we mentioned? First, you start by tracking your money and eliminating wealth killing habits. We all know where most of our money is going. So if you sit down, look at your bank statement, it will tell you exactly a story about where most of your money goes. You know, number two, you have to invest in skills that make you valuable in high income industries. What's your skill? What's your skill? What is it that you can offer to society? What is it that you can offer to the marketplace so that your skills can be improved? Three, you have to build multiple streams of income. Your paycheck alone will never be enough. And paycheck, we mean salary, right? Or income that you earn from your job. We all know, even if they've paid you 100,000 rands, your needs are constantly going to be evolving according to the amount of money that you're earning. So for you to be able to curb that is to find different ways to earn multiple streams of income. And you have to shift from a consumer mindset to an investor mindset by starting small and starting today. A lot of people always say, I'm going to start, I'm going to start, I'm going to start. But it's not going to happen by osmosis. The truth is, most people stay where they are, poor, broke, because they never take action. It's not going to happen on its own. Simply because with everything that's important, you have to be the guy that takes action. Don't be like most people, you know? And it's very important for you to be able to do that. Now, in the next episode, we'll look at 3 ways you can make money matter for you in the year 2025. And remember to get onto adprop.co.za, familiarize yourself with the platform, And those of you who have not registered on the platform, please do so. You can be able to get a promo code and also earn money from referring people to come on the platform at Prop. Now, from myself and my team, broadcasting from Johannesburg, South Africa, I almost said it's more than just money. The book behind me that I authored, and of course, one of the fastest growing business podcasts in the country, it's more than just money. But in this episode, I will not say that. I will say, I'll see you in the next episode. My name is Witness Mtaka. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe. Peace out.